Everything is amazing.
Waiting for awaken now. Hold on. That's what it's saying.
Okay. I'll see if we're live here. Yeah, I think we're live. And if anyone's tuning in, let me know where you're from, because this awakening is happening all over our beautiful planet. I'm going to talk a bit about my awakening tonight, and you can drop me a comment. Let me know about yours if you've got any questions, because it's quite a special thing what is happening on Mother Earth, where we're waking up to who we truly are.
Can't see you.
And all the great masters have spoke about it, and now people are actually living it. So
Can't see you.
yeah, it is live. I think we are live. I'm saying live. I'm saying live.
Yeah.
If anyone is there, let me know. You can't really tell.
Say something because I can hear you on this thingy.
Hello. Testing 1, 2, 3.
I can hear you on the phone, on the coming out of there. I can hear you just.
Come around here and look what I can see. Because mine says it's live.
Just check this. Show live video. Click on
Yeah, that's what it was on. It's live. But, I can't really tell when anyone's on or not.
nobody's on. And I don't see you on the thing.
No.
Do you
Maybe.
see a chat? I don't see you.
Let's try it on this then.
On my thing it says waiting for awaken now.
Yeah. The beauty of these things. You just put a heart on mine? Oh, okay. Hello. How are you today? It's the first time I've gone on live here, so I'm still getting used to this. We're going to talk about going from pain to awakening, because what's happening on our planet today. You not got anything, my moderator? You can come here and check then if you want. Yeah, so we're going to go talk about the greatest thing that's happened on this planet for many, many millenniums. Of course, we've had awakened masters come to teach us the way, but now the awakening is going on in every town, in every city, in every country on our beautiful planet. And when you awaken to the true essence of who you are, and we all believe that we have a soul, or most people believe they have a soul, but to understand that that soul, that divinity, is very powerful, and we get to create. It's almost like you're in a different dimension when you truly understand who you are. And one of the biggest things that gets in the way of that is your thinking mind. So now I'm going to talk tonight about going from that pain, almost like a nightmare, what happened to me. I'll speak a bit about my awakening and what I went through. And if you've got any comments, please drop them in, or questions, and I'd be pleased to answer. So thanks for joining me, because I know we've all got a lot of things to do, but this is great because It's one of the most greatest things that can happen to us, right? So I emigrated from England to Canada, cutting a long story short, and I went through a nightmare in my life. I lost my home, got divorced, my father died, I broke my ankle, all in a matter of 6 months to 9 month period. And so when I went to bed of a night, I went to bed to sleep and to become out of the nightmare. It's when I woke up the next day, that nightmare was there. And I basically ended up living with my mum because I lost everything. Lived with my mum in a 1 bedroom apartment for 2.5 years. And of course, the voice in my head, because I came over to Canada, I opened my own dojo, which is a martial arts club, and I was quite successful. I had everything that you'd want, a nice home. I was married, had a swimming pool in my home, the sports car, the Jeep, everything was hunky-dory, as we say in England. And then it all fell apart. And so within that 2.5 years of my life, I was in absolute pain and I was very close to suicide. And this is why I'm doing what I'm doing now, and I'm trying to spread this message with whoever will listen to it. And of course, if you're here, you're either awakened or you're on the path to awakening, or you're very interested in what I've got to say. So that pain was a great awakener. And it happened to me one day watching the master himself, Eckhart Tolle. I happened to watch one of his DVDs, which was called The Flowering of Consciousness. And after watching that, it was about an hour into the DVD, he said something that profoundly shifted me on the spot. And that was, it's not the things that happen in your life that causes the pain. It's the way you think about them things that causes all the suffering. Then I got it. All my suffering was because I was not in the present moment. I was dwelling on the past. Why did that happen? Why did this happen? All the things that had happened in my life, I pointed fingers and blamed people, and then whoosh, then I would go to the future. What am I going to do now? I've lost 2 homes in my life. I've got nothing. Poor me. And the ego mind, one bad thought deserves another. I went down that spiral more and more. And basically, I got it on the spot. It was the thoughts that was causing all the pain. So I became self-aware from that moment. And I'm not going to say I awakened at that moment, but I had a huge shift and I started to practice the power of now. Of course, Eckhart Tolle, I read the book, and then I started to read more and more books, and I started to understand that all our pain comes from our thoughts. Most of our arguments with the people we love the most, we argue with the most, don't we? And why is that? Because of the pain, because of the programs, the triggers within us that can trigger. And when you get 2 pain bodies together, we clash, don't we? So my life completely changed when I had that shift in consciousness. Please let me know where you're coming from. Oh, I thank Donnie Brasco. Robert Downey Jr., because you look a lot like him. Yeah, BB. I've been told that a lot, actually. I either get, or sometimes I get Sylvester Stallone, but I get that a lot. And I wish I had the money. That's what I always say. But it's interesting the way life works, and the pain that caused my awakening was a blessing in disguise. So anyone out there, let me know where you're from, guys, what country you're from, because it's beautiful, because this is happening all over the world. The pain is a blessing in disguise, but you don't see it till many years later. Because I not only lost my home and everything, I lost all my belongings as well, because I put my things in storage, and after about 4 or 5 months, I couldn't afford to pay for them, so I lost all them things, all the things that were dear to me. My martial arts club, my friends become world champions. I had their gloves and the boxing shorts, the kickboxing shorts, and I was very proud of my club, but all of a sudden, that was all taken away. But from that, I understood who I truly was, which is not what I've done all my life, not my name. Spiritual being, having a human experience. And from that moment on, I shifted my life in many ways. I started to understand that everything is energy. Everything is energy. And so when you understand that, you start to understand how you can shift your energy. And one of the simplest things is gratitude. Just being thankful. And if you've got an illness of some sort, or you've had a lot of loss in your life, just close your eyes and breathe. Give thanks for that breath. For anything you can, give thanks. And the way the universe works is, the more you give thanks, the more good things come in your life to be thankful for. But that's not the reason why we do it. We do it because the highest energy is love and compassion, kindness. And that's why we came. For me, my feeling is, we come to this planet to bring heaven to earth, because we are part of the divine. And divinity gets to create. So I went from that pain to absolute joy in my life. I became a singer. Yeah, and I do Rod Stewart tributes. So I might look like Sean Penn, but I sing like Rod Stewart a bit. And I love what I do. What's that?
Message from Reverend Glenn Stewart Coles.
Oh, thank you, Reverend Glenn. Thank you, brother. How are you doing? I know you've been on the path for a long time as well. And it's lovely. Thanks for coming, Glenn. Thank you. It's lovely. Yeah, it's we're in a very, very special time here.
How can you give gratitude when things are going wrong?
When can you give gratitude? How? Well, who asked that question? Okay. How to give gratitude when things are going wrong? Well, things will always go wrong in your life. It's a part of life. And just because when you have this shift in consciousness and you understand that you're a human, you're a spiritual being, but we're having a human experience. And the human experience comes with pain. Pain is a great awakener. So the thing you can do is, just spoke about it, go firstly to your breath. Take a few deep breaths and give thanks from that moment, in the now moment, that. And then if there's a problem that you can do something about, you can take an action towards that problem. If there's something that you can't do nothing about, it's only the mind that's given you that problem. It's the thoughts about it. If you're in the moment, there is no problems. But what you can do, you can take a breath. You're stuck in the mud, you fall down a hole, you're stuck in the mud. You go, there's a branch there. Take hold of that branch and climb out. Whatever it is, if we can do something about it, we do something about it. But if we can't, surrender. Surrender is not a weakness. Surrender is a power. When you go, because a lot of the times problems people have is a small problem, but their thought is, why me? Why is this happening to me? And that is causing all the pain. So surrender to the situation, and then if you can do something about it, you do something about it. So My life shifted from that pain when I still didn't have a home. I still was divorced. But I went to the present moment. I made it a habit on a daily basis. So it didn't just bing, I'm awake now. No, it also took meditation. And we can do a meditation. We don't have to sit and close our eyes to meditate, although that's beautiful too. When you go for a walk in the country or a walk in the city, are you in the mind, or are you in the city, or are you in the country? Because to practice being aware and the witness of your thoughts, it's usually one of the first things that will happen to you if you are awakening or having a shift in consciousness, is you'll understand you are not your thoughts. So for instance, if you fall and bang your head and you lose your memory completely, who are you? You got no past. You got no things to think about. Why that happened, why this happened, why she left me, why he left me, what this, what that. You're just like, I actually sing at retirement homes, and I have to tell you this. So I do lots of shows, and the shows where I see people getting up and dance is the people who have Alzheimer's. They have very forgetful. They live in the moment. They live in the moment like little children. Did Jesus not say to enter the kingdom be as little children? It's when we're thinking about, like, because the ego likes to jump in a lot of ways. The ego will jump in if you're supposed to, maybe you want to go on stage or public speaking. It's the number one fear for most people. And what is that? It's a fear of what other people think about us. Public singing is even worse, by the way. And I stepped on stage because I knew I was supposed to do that. I'd done CDs all about the awakening. I'd done one 2012. My songs on my album, Go Within, The Light, Sins of the Father, Our Heroes, The Secret. But I realized that even then, I was still nervous to go on stage and sing and talk about these things, until I got to the point where I thought, it doesn't matter. As a kid, I had no confidence. I wouldn't go and do public speaking, and there I am now to the world. I mean, you guys are the world to me. It doesn't matter what people think about you. That's the ego. Because I'm not this guy who some said I look like Sean Penn. Thank you. But it doesn't matter what people think about you. The world will change if we don't worry about what people think about us, you know? Because it doesn't matter what people think about you. What you think about you is the most important thing in your life. We call it self-love. Thank you for the hearts. That was nice. It's so true. But sometimes I haven't met anyone that awakened spiritually, had a shift in consciousness, that have not gone through pain. If you know, please, if you haven't gone through pain, but you are completely awake and aware without pain, let me know. I've never met anyone. I actually started a group many years ago, Glenn. I don't know if you ever come, because I know you used to live in the city, but called Conscious Conversations. And I'd done it because there was not an awful lot of people around that you could talk to about these things. And now there's many people it's happening to. It's happening all over the world, thank God. And we're part of that. We're all connected. Quantum physics proves it. Quantum physics and spirituality have met. And they're saying exactly the same things. The quantum Jesus, the Christ consciousness. He spoke about all these things. Manifestation. Pray like it's already been given unto you. What's that mean? Joe Dispenza speaks about that. Joe Dispenza, Bruce Lipton, many of the great scientists, quantum physicists, say that when you get in that vibration of something that you would intend to have in your life, That's the law of attraction, but it doesn't come just by your thoughts. And the funny thing is, when you awaken, when you have that shift, the things in your life that you want change. It's not the big house and the big car you want anymore. You want everyone to know this. You want everyone to understand who we are. Because if the whole world understood this, there'd be no more wars. I don't think it's a coincidence that all the conquerors of this planet in the history of humanity, they weren't awake. They were conquerors. How could you kill or hurt another human being? And you won't see this on CNN doing a thing about consciousness, right? The world's mad, but it's funny to look at the world when you get it, because you can step out of that. And that's one of the things I say on my channels, on TikTok and YouTube all the time. Switch off the negative news. It's an amazing time to be alive. Can you see any questions, Jane? Just, if you got any questions, please put them in. Let me know where you're from. Everything is a vibration. Everything is energy. Every thought you think, every word you speak creates an emotion, a frequency, goes out into the world. So what are we thinking about? What are we focused on? Because what we focus on expands. And expands in our life. Our personality creates our reality. And it's magic. It's almost like magic. It's quantum magic, which is reality. It's the dimension that we are in. It's the ascension. As you know, well, I don't know if you know, but there's a book called Power versus Force with David Hawkins, and he has a graph, and it goes from fear and hatred and anger and judgment all the way up to tranquility and love and enlightenment at the top. So it's proven now scientifically that everything is energy, and we can change our energy. We can change ourselves with gratitude, with the food we eat, clean food, good food, the things we watch, the things we expose ourselves to, the people we hang around, you know. And you might find that once you do awaken, the people in your life change, or maybe the people in your life fall away, some of them, but then other people come into your life that are vibrating. It's like tuning forks, isn't it? We tune together, we vibe with our tribe, and it's an amazing time to be alive. And the better it gets, the better it gets. So I personally, each morning, I do a meditation, and I do what's called a Wim Hof breathing technique, because this is our temple, this human body. Some people say it's a meat suit, but you know what's incredible, our body, isn't it? The things it can do. It's divine, this body, the things it does. Millions of things that we don't even think about. We don't have to think about breathing or think of beating our heart. It beats us. It breathes us. But when you become consciously aware of that, we heal ourselves. We can heal ourselves. And disease comes from wrong thinking. It comes from maybe taking in substances that we shouldn't. But it's still incredible the way it keeps on moving on. Even some of the things that we've done in the past, it's still here. But the more we become conscious of that divine body, the more it can heal. So we give thanks. It's a great thing to give thanks to every day, you know. This beautiful body that's brought me on this planet for many, many years, from England to Canada, and being able to walk, talk and sing. So I became a singer at the age of 46 when I started to understand this divine presence that we all are. Divinity gets to create. I declared I am a singer. of course, family thought I'd gone crazy, and a lot of my friends, because I've been doing martial arts for 50 years, I still teach children, but I went out and became a singer and living the life, enjoying it. That's another thing that I say to anyone, to raise your vibrations. Do what you love. Do as much as that as you can. It will raise your vibrations. Then if you want to manifest from that, put it out there. Not with a neediness, but with, it's going to happen. I have faith. I have faith in God. What is God? Not a man up in the sky. It's us. It's all of us. We're part of that. We're co-creators with this incredible, beautiful energy, this divine energy. And the masters all spoke about what is the highest. It's love, kindness, joy. Because what you put out comes back to you. Always, in all ways. So when I started to awaken, I started to read all the books by some of the masters. I'm a huge fan of Eckhart Tolle. Of course, the great Wayne Dyer, sadly passed over. And then Dr. Emoto, who proved that water has consciousness. We're mostly water. Our planet is mostly water. I had the great honour of opening for Dr. Emoto in Toronto, in Canada. And again, there's no such thing as coincidence, but once you start to vibe and understand and feel that energy and frequency, it's almost like you're in the twilight zone, especially when you first awaken. For me it was. Out of the blue, I was asked whether I do a peace concert, because Dr. Emoto and a friend of mine named Franco De Nicola were doing a show in Toronto. Dr. Emoto from Japan was coming to Toronto, and I done a peace concert with a good friend of mine, Peter Nelson, who also sadly passed over, but we know he's out there somewhere helping with the shift in consciousness on our planet. But incredible things happen. I was lucky to read the book Conversations with God with Neil Donald Walsh, which talks about all the metaphysical things that I'd been going through, because I find that when you first awaken, or you're going through this shift, you almost think like you're going crazy, and your family almost want to say, yes, you are. I also had a mystical experience in my life that changed my life, and it was an incredible thing after all my loss. And I seen and felt this incredible energy, and I seen a possible future, but within this beautiful experience, it's hard to talk about in human terms, is I was embraced in light. And I'd seen my whole past, grown up in England. I was in a wheelchair for 3 years as a little boy, but around all this, all my life, was an absolute loving presence, almost saying, I'm with you, I've always been with you. What was it, my higher self? What was that energy? I don't know, but I know it was divine, because I felt the love, the intense love. And then I seen myself on stages before I became a singer. And someone once said to me, a family member actually, you know that mystical experience you had? You sure it wasn't a brain aneurysm? So of course I laughed, and but when you're going through it, it's a lot of people who don't understand it, because we're the minority on the planet. We're the minority, but that minority is growing rapidly. So we have to understand that they don't understand. And I think when Jesus, when he was on the cross, I'm talking about the quantum Jesus, when he said, forgive them, they know not what they do, when they said to him, but Lord, you haven't done anything. We've murdered people, you know. And Jesus said, forgive them, they know not what they do. And I believe he meant that they don't quite understand. So it's very hard when you're in this state of consciousness for people who are not there to understand. So we have to have compassion for that. And we're here to help them. Okay, I've got to, just want to Check another message. Oh, beautiful, Glenn. I love it. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Glenn. Thanks for coming here, brother. Yeah, Neil. He's one incredible man, Glenn. And I know you've always been on the path for a long time. And it's great for us because we've been on the path for ages, haven't we, to see that the awakening is happening, and it is now time to awaken the species. Absolutely, brother. And we are doing it. And there's many others doing it too. I mean, I've just been going on really a lot more on TikTok and YouTube with my videos and that. And I'm meeting creators of people who are putting incredible things out there. And it gives us a lot of hope. It really does give us a lot of hope. Yeah, there are, Glenn. There are a lot of us. Yeah. What are you doing yourself now? Yeah, we'll have to get together, Glenn, Monday. Oh, Midlands. Okay. Beautiful. So everything is good, brother, eh? Oh, lovely. Lovely. Beautiful. Beautiful. I love it. Listen, Glenn, when we're off screen here, we'll connect. And that'll be lovely. And maybe we'll get together if we're close by. Yeah, this is fabulous. So this is worth it tonight, Glenn. There's not many here, but it was lovely that we met again. And you have to put my glasses on to read this here. That's fabulous. So I was just popping on for half an hour, Glenn. Let's connect. And I'll send you a message. Are you on TikTok as well, Glenn, or just YouTube? Wow. Thank you, brother. Thank you. Okay, I'll connect with you on Facebook. I'm just going to finish this off now. God bless. And I'll talk to you soon, Glenn. Thanks for coming on. Sounds great. Love you, man. Keep up the great work. I don't know how to switch this off now. Take care, Glenn. I don't even see it.